Outside of your party,
this whole project is slapping.
You know he on this album. I should say my name, let me know if I could be.
I got a bang on there.
Cause I can do my thing by myself on the street. Don't need security to tie a ring kid.
Look,
God knows God not scared. Back in the face, trying to hit me with
Now, I usually start off the show by introducing the show, tell you who I am, talk about how we bring you the best of the best. Tonight we're gonna go a little different. We're gonna walk down a different path, one that hasn't been walked on before, because what I have in the house tonight, legend don't even really cover what this man is. It really doesn't even scrape the surface. Like, I don't even know what to call this man other than honor him by constantly playing his music. I don't know if God years ago told me in my ear, hey, I need you to put a radio station together because I'm gonna send you one of mine. I really don't know what to say, but we're gonna start this show, and I really hope that y'all paying attention because it's bound to be some game and some gems dropped in this. But let's go and get this going. What's up, y'all? This is West Coast Wednesdays here on Hype Radio. I am your man Shadow. As my daddy wish, dark as night without a moon or a star. What I have to my left can only be described as royalty. Pioneer. The only thing this man ain't done yet, because he probably hasn't graduated the class, is he ain't walked water. God damn it, I introduced to you the originator of the melodic rapping, God, KOKANE. What's up with you, bro?
Man, happy to be on the platform.
Man, I feel like God is sitting over there sipping on some wine because this is only a blessing. Only a blessing.
Appreciate you,
brother. For you to take time out of your hectic schedule, running around with that man over there, I remember last time I saw you, he was in Yuba City. Shout out B Legit. We were seeing his little his performance out there, the Work Dirty. Rat came over to me, was like, Shadow, what's up? I said, hey, I see you everywhere. You can't put your feet down any place because you can't stand long enough. I said, every time I see you, though, you be such and such place, doing this and doing that, and you always around cocaine. He literally went, you mean that cocaine? I was like, oh, shit. Now, up front, what's up, bro? How you doing? Glad to meet you. Good to see you again. In the back of my head, oh, we was three little white cheerleaders. Yeah, that's cocaine. That's cocaine. Boy, because you was kind of like the summer anthem out here for a quick minute.
Right.
When Above the Law dropped, we was at Miller Park. We washed cars early in the morning. We have our fits picked Saturday morning for Sunday morning. We hit Miller Park all day. Everybody drinking wine out of the Gatorade bottle. Shout out Unc. We was doing it all, but it was always that Above the Law, and it's that one voice that is so damn distinct even to this day. It's almost like he was cheating from the beginning.
No. I was just enjoying myself, and that's what cloth I'm cutting from. You know what I mean? The real shit. You know what I mean?
We gonna touch on that.
Yeah.
I'm so tired of fake ass niggas. Ooh, I'm so tired of them niggas.
Right.
Okay, so let's go ahead and go back a little bit, because we here. This is gonna be a long ass show, so I hope y'all comfortable. You need anything while we here? You need some more beverage?
I got that in my cup.
We good then. We here. Now, let's go to the beginning.
Right.
Because you've been in the game for many moons.
I'm thankful.
When did you start? When did something in your ear whisper to you saying, I want to do music?
Well, you kind of say I had the cheat code, you know.
Let's talk about it.
My father, Jerry Buddy Long Sr., was a giant in Motown. He was arranger, orchestrator.
Time out.
Yeah,
Hold on.
yeah.
Hold on. Your family members.
Motown. His works include Just My Imagination, Papa Was a Rolling Stone, Still Waters Run Deep, over 600 musical compositions of the best songs you ever heard.
When you said
in
cheat
your life.
code, I was assuming that you might have known somebody who knew somebody,
Right.
but you really knew that body.
Yeah, I couldn't help it. I'm Jerry Buddy Long Jr. And my uncle is Uncle Willie Hutch. You know, Brothers Gonna Work It Out, I'll Choose You, slew of hits, you know, in the 70s and 80s. So, and my cousin is Code 187. So we were always, it just was embedded in our DNA. We couldn't help it, you know.
You have to forgive me because I know who you're talking about, and those are real stars. I'm already starstruck when you came in. Like I said, I had some shadow up here. Back of my head, it's yelling and screaming. We throwing up confetti, the whole shit. Now, let's fast forward. When was the first time you hit a studio on some real business to, I'm going in to record music for?
Well, that was 1987, hooking up with my Uncle Willie Hutch in Canoga Park. He had a studio. But prior to that, you know, I actually started my career in 1984, like 40 years ago. Yeah.
Now, how is that to say?
Oh, it was beautiful, man. When I used to go to the studio with my dad in the 70s, you know, the running board used to look like a spaceship. So I was always like an alien baby, like
Right.
Parliament. And I would always, you know, rap, and then the explosion of hip hop came in. So in 1984, I was rapping and singing. That's how I started.
Okay, so in '84, so that means you come before, may he rest in peace, the great Nate Dogg.
Well, Nate Dogg was actually a good buddy of mine. And a lot of people don't know, in 1990, Warren G used to stay with us above law and Cocaine. And he said, when my homie get out the Army, I'm gonna bring him up here, him and Slim, that's gonna audition for Above the Law and Cocaine. So when I met Nate, he was auditioning for us before Death Row. So when I knew Nate, he had a distinct voice, silky soul, no bullshit. Snoop Dogg was a cold ass freestyler. And we were gonna actually put them on before Death Row, because you gotta realize, back then Suge was my manager. We went to London on the only NWA tour, and my first platinum record was co-writing Appetite of Destruction, just as well as introducing a character called Sweet Talk. Well, I write y'all across the USC Compton watch. They don't be known to walk in the shadow, you know, that type of shit. You feel me?
Oh.
But then it was a breakup, brother, real quick. It was a breakup. All this was going on simultaneously.
Okay.
You know, Dre was getting tired. We were getting tired because it wasn't no easy. It was the paperwork that was wrong.
Okay.
And, you know, one thing I could say, you know, who touched on that first and foremost was Ice Cube. You know, but at the same time, you can't fault Jerry Helen so much, because he's an intricate part of making this stuff go worldwide too.
Definitely.
But during those times, you know, we were going to leave after the Niggas for Life album came out, is because we were all buddies. Suge was my manager actually back then.
Yeah, so
yeah.
With Suge being your manager, which is even crazy.
Mhm.
Like, I'm sitting here going through history that I kind of was part of, but never knew. Like, this is a whole brand new seasoning to me right now. With Suge being your management at the time, did he ever give like clues that he was going to move?
Well,
like
we all was going to go because of the simple fact of paperwork. So Dre called, Eazy-E called a meeting and invited Dre to come, invited Brother Law, the crew to come. We came because we wanted to make it right. We wanted to rekindle our business relationship with Eric. Eric Wright, rest in peace.
Rest in peace.
But Dre was already made up his mind, because Suge, at that time, a lot of people don't know, they look at all the negative side of Suge, but Suge is very intelligent. From UNLV. He has that knowledge. So he was breaking down mechanicals, royalties, how they getting this much, Basically, they treat y'all like slaves. So that sparked Above the Law and Cocaine here. And this was prior before Corrupt, before Das, before the Dog Pound period, because they auditioned for us in 1990. We did the video in 91. You know what I'm saying? We were gonna leave. We were playing Black Mafia Life at that time, Above the Law, which the first Chronic ironically sounds similar to that, and I'll tell you a reason for that. And these are all facts. We was at the party playing the music, and Dr. Dre said, "Man, what's that shit y'all doing?" Man, that shit sound hard. He was in the car. He said, "Wait, it's called G-Funk. This is our music. This is what we do, Above the Law and Cocaine." So at that time, the breakout happened, and then Snoop and them and Nate Dogg auditioned for us, and then months passed by, and we was like, where they at? So it already exploded, and we were still cool with Eric, Wright, Dre, because it was all like a family.
Right.
But that was the day that Dr. Dre said, "Hey man, Warren G, got this tape over here at this thing, and this little guy named Slim Snoop is on it, and I know y'all want to originally work with him, because actually Snoop was going to be a Ruthless artist." He said, "I know y'all want to work with him."
Wait.
Yeah.
Snoop was originally going to be a Ruthless artist?
Yeah, because he was going to go be funneled through Above the Law House. Rest in peace, Laylaw. So Dre got the blessing to Co-187, said, "Man, do his thing, man. That nigga dope. I'm working on Cocaine now," because, back then I came out with an album called Nickel Slick Nigga, and they called me Who Am I, because the distribution company at the time was scared to say cocaine, so they said, "Who am I?" So these are things that were happening simultaneously. And then when Dre was about to leave, Suge was about to bring Above the Law and Cocaine, not Dog Pound, and no disrespect to Dog Pound, no disrespect to Snoop and Nate. It wasn't the first. We were going to be the first on death row. But we rekindled our business relationship because Dre missed the meeting, we came to it, and we stayed with Eric. Eric Wright, that is.
That's crazy. Never heard that before.
These are facts.
That's crazy. That's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, so you stayed at Ruthless.
Mm-hmm.
The birth of Death Row happened.
Well, the birth of Death Row happened through one soundtrack called Deep Cover. Ironically, I'm on that soundtrack, Nickel Slick Nigga. See, that's how close we were. Yeah, I'm on that soundtrack. You see what I'm saying? And that was the introduction to Calvin Brothers, aka Snoop Dogg. Yes, sir. And that was a shot call by Mr. Hank Caldwell, who's a good guy in the business, if you understand what I'm saying. And Mr. John Payne, who's over there at Death Row now. They said, "Man, we love Cocaine, man. We know his history. We're gonna leave him on this soundtrack, even though it's a deep cover orientated soundtrack for Ruthless artists." So controversy was being brought in the gate. You feel me?
Damn. Man, you damn near leave me over here speechless. This is crazy. To get this now, like I promoted that album on Street Promotions, and the artists that you've talked about, I've promoted and met, and I never knew. Well, I guess it wasn't my business to know, because that behind the curtain information,
Right.
that's some motherfucking.
And that was real quick. That was around the time where, 1990 we did We All in the Same Game, Nickerson Gardens,
Yes.
Above the Law and Cocaine. That was the time Pac used to come out here, and when he used to come out here, he used to mess primarily with Above the Law, Laylaw, and NWA. And then this was prior, before his movies and everything. He started blowing up after the same song, Digital Underground. And he used to come out here a lot. And back when we were doing our project, Black Mafia Life Above the Law, he said, "What's your style of music?" He said, "We know what it is, G-Funk." So he wrote some scribbled shit down. Actually, rest in peace, Humpty Hump was supposed to be on Call It What You Want Above the Law, But then he had to go to New York because the shit was cracking. Pop was down here. He said, I'm from the G-Funk, but you can call it what you want. And that was the very first time in 1991, which we put it out in 92 because we had to. That was the very first time you ever heard the word G-Funk. Period. Because we are the architects of G-Funk, which years later influenced so many people. I don't even think you can name drop who it is what it is. It influenced them. You know, so it's kind of like James Brown doing something and then, you know, Parliament taking it somewhere else, which is a good thing.
I guess you can say it's a sense of compliment, but
yeah.
I know it irritated you a little bit too.
Oh man, it made us pissed off, man. But years later, you know, you mature, and I was able to get on a lot of records. You know, like a lot of people don't know I'm on Tupac's When the Homie Called. But all right, y'all, that's me. So we've been in the paint in the thick of it, but the mystique that is built up on cocaine, we're now breaking that mystique because people know, you know, it's a lot of gaps missing, but that's my blessing. You know what I'm saying? To be able to fill in those actual gaps.
Okay, because going on what you've just touched upon now, like this whole Ruthless, Death Row, G-Funk is all out of the palm of the above the law.
Right.
And it's your hand.
Right. But actually, you know, we the branches to the ruthless tree. The root was Easy-E putting up his hustle money. Just imagine if Easy didn't put up his hustle money. Because everything is predicated from Death Row to Aftermath to Shady to 50 Cent to Ice Cube off the ruthless tree. Period. Now imagine if that didn't happen.
Ruthless was the Garden of Eden.
It was, because what they showed at a time, they showed how not only to put that type of energy out there where people were scared of the police and certain things, but then from a business administrative point of view, it was the bullet point of billions and billions and billions of dollars later. All because that man from Kelly Park Compton put his hustle money out.
Now, God rest the dead, bless the dead. Like Easy, pretty much, like you said, I guess you could say the Godfather of this West Coast.
He's the Godfather.
Gangster rap. I don't really like calling it gangster rap because
we didn't call it that. You know, we called it reality rap, street reporting. But then they figured, you know, white media figured there's a bunch of these niggas running around, so it's gangsters, gangsters. So we took it into shit. Oh yeah, we gonna run with that shit. But we didn't do that. It was called reality rap, street reporting, street knowledge.
Okay, so with Easy putting up the bread, I mean, if we're going off the movie, you know, he put up the bread, Drake talked to him in the little club, and you know, that was the birth of it.
I'm gonna tell you something. I don't mean to cut in. Please talk about
It's
that.
your show. I'm here on your time. Go ahead.
My ninja. Hollywood always trying to pack the seats. And the NWA movie was needed, you know, to show these guys how much they made an impact. But everybody know. I mean, the real ones know, you know, and that's not taken away, not from all the gentlemen that I work with. Every gentleman in NWA. But that movie is only 40% true, bro. Just keep it real.
Yeah.
Made a lot of money,
but it definitely
put the
helped.
spotlight, and it helped us though.
And I said that when it came out, I was like, you know, they're not finna tell the whole truth in that movie.
Nah.
They can't. That's exposing too much. But what that movie did do was solidify on the other side of the tracks.
Right.
Because they were able to go back and see what caused and what's making it so popular, and they were able to kind of like go back and get a brief history lesson, some cliff notes on it.
Right.
But if you were here or if you were involved in it, it's a lot of gaps in that movie.
Yeah, but the good thing about it, you know, is the reason why I'm here filling in those gaps, because it left us a lot of elbow room that people can fact check and look up. And that's what I like about it. It's not me really saying, oh, it's 40% kind of putting shade and salt. No, it's only in the context that I'm saying it left a whole bunch of elbow rooms, especially for those that are still living to really fill in those gaps, so that the lengthiness and integrity and lingering of what we've done can last for a long time more. So I love it. I love that NWA put that movie, and I'm glad those, you know, I can safely say I helped those gentlemen with me being a part of co-writing to get into the Hall of Fame. And how many people can say that? So I'm happy for them. You know what I'm saying? Because it still goes on today. We all use it, you know, to our best benefit.
Okay, so NWA takes off like a rocket. Where was Above the Law when that started? That movie started.
When NWA took off,
Here, move over a little bit so the camera
yeah,
be blessed with you.
yeah. NWA took off. Dr. Dre. I mean, they couldn't. All of them couldn't walk nowhere. They was like the Beatles, bro. So when they came out and that stuff in 1987, it was cool because the following year, 1988, that was when Above the Law was going to link in with them through Laylaw, which Laylaw is the brother of Gomac. You know what I'm saying? So Gomac and Dooley, rest in peace, they always used to wiggle out there and, you know, on some other business in Pomona. And that's how they got linked up, basically through Laylaw and Gomac. And Gomac is considered, you know, the big dude with the perm. He was the original big worm with the perm. You understand me? And when they came out with Living Like Hustlers, it was incredible because they were considered one of the most prolific groups at that time, and they was a right hit for Ruthless Records because they were more like the West Coast Bomb Squad. And express yourself. But we were able to, you know, Above the Law, we were able to come over there and just put that as not what you know, is what you can prove. Rest in peace, KMG too. And I'll tell you a funny story. One of Biggie's favorite groups at that time was Above the Law, Black Superman. And we always used to call ourselves Notorious Above the Law. And it's ironic he started calling himself Notorious B.I.G. Which he will go back and tell you, I got my style from King T. Biggie say on record, I got my style from King T. So we were already sharing in that vibration, brother. East Coast and West Coast. Straight up.
This is a history lesson above all. Now, you said they were walking around, they were like the Beatles. See, we didn't get that taste of them up here.
Right.
During that time in LA, it was, they call it politics now, but that was the beginning of the real, like, you couldn't get caught in the wrong area with the wrong eye color.
Right.
Like you would have came up missing. Did the NWA movement, the whole, did it kind of like smooth out the edges a little bit? Because
not at all. Not at all. Some gangster shit going down behind doors and a lot of stuff. It was good business. It was a backbite. It was a thievery. It was just a lot of shit. That's why I told people, man, the music industry wasn't no different than the dope game.
it still isn't.
Yeah. I said that a long time ago. And looking years later, it really applies to that today. You know, and it's semi like that. You go to LA, it's semi kind of politics. But the beautiful thing that I was able to do was make an exodus up in the Bay Area.
Okay.
Because I did so many songs with the Bay Area cats, from E42 Short, Mac Dre, rest in peace, Jacka, rest in peace, Blanco, Brother Lynch, Sibo,
That's where I got my start.
Mac Mall. I did so much up in the Bay that they thought I was from the Bay at one time. Spice One.
Damn.
Yeah, so that's why when I come wiggle up here, it's a different atmosphere, and you got to go with where I always had love basically everywhere, but when you're at the house at that time, for some reason they're gonna hate you. They're gonna love to hate more than you know, the other thing, love to love. So,
If you
but when
know-
I came up in the Bay Area from Sacramento to you know, to Vallejo, to Oakland, to all these places up here, they really embrace cocaine because people got to know Oakland is about the funk.
Yeah,
They
facts.
always was on that funk
Facts.
shit. So, like I said, I got to say, and I guess I fit more than the OJ Club. You did. It was cool.
Okay. Now, anyway, Compton, if you from wherever you are, you out of Pomona.
Right.
Now, don't get it twisted. Pomona ain't no place you can walk heavy and act like you somebody unless you somebody. But we have Sacramento, we have Frisco, we have Oakland, like you said. If you're not from here, we're all put in the same pot of Northern Cali.
Right.
Frisco will tell you in a heartbeat, they Frisco all day. Oakland, town business. Sacramento, we trying to put our footprint on, and we got great talent here, we putting our footprint down, but we don't want to say we're the Bay.
Right.
Being from Pomona, and you know, like I told you earlier, I had an artist that I dealt with in Altadena, you know, Compton, and every place else. Do you guys in Southern Cali? Do you prefer to be I'm from Pomona than us saying SoCal?
It's all the same thing. It's like you want to eat a Subway sandwich, but it happens to be in a Walmart. It's the same thing. You know, I love Pomona because that's my Jerusalem.
Say less.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm always be a Pomona Globetrotter. Everywhere I go, I spread the P in the 16th letter. You know, because if you know Pomona, you know what's happening, what we do out there. And you look at cats like Sugar Free and cats like, you know, of course us. We kept it real with that 16th letter called the P.
People strong in Pomona, bro.
And there's a lot of cats that's doing good out there. I don't want to name drop, but they did real good. You know, we got Sugar Shane Mosley in the boxing world. Of course, Sugar Free above the law. Upcoming new cats, you know, from Chicano raps to young black rappers. It's a beautiful thing. But, you know, every block you go to, you still, it's a crock of shit thinking you don't have everybody listening to the positive movement. It's still warfare. But I'm glad, you know, we having a chance to let the whole world know, you know, what it's like in Pomona. You know what I mean?
Okay. Now, with that being said, because I'm just blown away by the information I'm getting, bro. You gotta excuse me. Being in Pomona, crossing over to go do work someplace else. Now, seeing how you were above the law, did I guarantee y'all just an average pass, or y'all had to get like kind of like this? You can't be in Hunters Point if you don't know Hunters Point.
Right.
And if you do something at Hunters Point and you try to slide over to Sunnydale, you better know somebody in Sunnydale.
Right.
And they better give you your pass to be in Sunnydale.
Right.
Being from Pomona, moving how you had to move in LA, was it the same kind of like movement where you had to know the shot callers to be in those areas to be kind of like, because, you know, LA is known. Pomona, you had your pockets.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all didn't go outside of your pockets.
Sure.
But to do the music that you had to do with who you had to do it with, you had to move out of the pockets and the other pockets.
Well, that's the power of music.
Because if you think about it,
That's the power of
Death
music.
Row and Cube, y'all kind of proved that the only color that mattered was green.
That's it. See, I'm gonna tell you something real quick. When we got to Easy, Easy was the first one to say, put all that hood shit aside. When neighborhoods, bro. Excuse me. What you done and all that. Excuse me. He said, put all that aside. And what he showed us is that you're bigger than the suppression you was put on, because you don't really own no blocks.
Own no blocks, don't own no
No
stopping crane.
nothing of concrete. He said, so up in here, you know, stay away from where you're from. Let's talk about it, put it into something that is, you know, of substance, and that's what we done. He said, because this was stuck with me. He said, gang banging ain't got nothing to do with making money in the music game. And that stuck with me at a time to where it was no, you couldn't hook up with Chicanos. He put Chicanos on from Brown side, and he was a real, like, cartel motherfuckers type shit. He put them on. Maybe before Nipsey was channeling his energy towards different other sets that they've been worn, Easy was the very person that showed people how to put that aside and concentrate on the business of music and making money and putting your stuff out there and having fun. So we learned all that. I learned all that from Easy, thanks, Chad. That, you know, it was some sworn enemies. And years later, through the power of music, it affected whole cultures. You gotta realize, them cats, everybody was dressing in tight ass tough skins. You can look at some of the homies. You're like, damn, nigga, you tuck your shirt in. They show people the culture, how to dress, how to raise your voice. You say fuck the police when everybody was scared to say that. I couldn't say that. And he showed how the people to be diplomatic, because at the end of the day, we all bleed the same, but at the same time, it's about making bread.
Okay, so let me ask you this, because I'll probably never be close enough to even ask anybody who was close enough to even come close to answering this motherfucking question. It seemed like Easy was like a genius.
Yeah.
Way before his time. What we heard on the music, what we heard during the controversy during the time that it was going on, was seen in movies. It seemed like I don't want to say it's a false put on him, because it's a little bit of the truth. But Easy, from me just sitting here now with you, it seemed like Easy was like,
it was like Michael Jordan. It was like Michael Jordan. They call Michael Jordan Black Jesus.
Because realistically, like Michael Jordan, he changed the game.
He changed the game. It was his ideas. Now collectively, he'll tell you right now, man, I ain't no motherfucking rapper, but I'm a businessman with a voice. He would always tell you that. You know, so he knew his place and position, and he knew the other cats that came into view, place and position, and he taught us how to, you know, how to promote records, how to put things together. But and he knew, you know, he was our Obama at that time.
But he had never done anything.
You know,
the rap game is a dope game, hands down.
Mm-hmm.
But you're talking about aspects in the game that didn't apply to the dope game.
Right.
You're talking about aspects in the game that, to this day, some motherfuckers don't have a clue about.
Yeah.
And he was able to literally just sit up without the education in the game and see what moves to make and what not to make. Like, it's certain cats that I'll sit around and I'll talk to and I'll soak up that game, because if I'm in a room, I'm the quietest motherfucker in the room.
Right.
Because I want to hear everybody talk. I want to know what's going on. I want to hear their secrets, and I want the ingredients to make this shit work. That would have been an overload sitting up with Easy, because they make Easy be the little dude who was a dope dealer, who Q wrote rap for and shit.
Yeah.
But he was literally the puppet master to all this West Coast shit.
Well, see, Dre did his thing. Dre was mostly, that was back in the McCullough days. He did.
But it still seemed like even Dre did his thing.
Yeah.
He was getting his wisdom.
But I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna tell you something. Absolutely. You know, Lonzo from the Wrecking Crew. You know what I mean? He's a pillar of the community. He could have did what Easy did. You know what I'm saying? But his role was something else. They came over there, and Easy was just like you said. I was quiet, analyzed. He picked up on that, and he had a vision. He had epiphany. It could go that way. with the help of Dr. Dre influence, because you can't leave him out,
Definitely
and other
can't.
cats. But see, Easy was the gangster of NWA. All the other cats were the gangster. They talk gangster lyrics, you know what I'm saying? Different things like
They
that.
was not the gangsters though.
But they wasn't the gang, and that's not taking nothing away from them, because
Definitely can't.
I don't want my kids to grow up and throw up the set or none of that. I want them to be cool black children.
Facts.
So they had this thing where they called street reporters, and they did that. But see, Eric was the gangster. Eric was the one who sold water, all kinds of shit, and took that money and said, "Nigga, we gonna do this." That's why you can look years later, man, like Michael Jordan. That nigga was the black Jesus in the ghetto from Cali, where we come from.
Now, the common sense would tell me, like, I wish the man had written a book.
Right.
That would be a bestseller year after year. But during that time, we didn't have social media. We didn't have every cell phone had a camera and all that. So, Suge kind of came up the same way. Because, like you said earlier, Suge is an intelligent dude. You know, UNLV, you know,
Very intelligent.
he just is scary intelligent. But he moved in a game that he had to get familiar with. Now, did he kind of like take part of what he was seeing from Easy? Because it
Of
seemed like
course he
Easy was
did.
a wizard.
Of course he did. Dr. Dre, Cube, everybody got something from Easy. The speakers that Dre did, that was Easy shit first. What do you mean? That was his shit first. But see, when Suge came in, he seen all the stuff going down, but he also seen the paperwork. And you can't get so, you know, I look at it different when it comes to Jerry Heller. Everybody be like, man. But as wrong as it was with some of the paperwork, he was a significant fact from the Jewish land, because the Jews run this game.
Facts.
When you talk about corporate.
Facts.
Now, if you do it independent, yeah, you own your shit. But if you want to get to rock star status like Black Sabbath or Ozzy, Jerry Heller was one of the biggest booking agents from Canada who had Led Zeppelin and everything. So, damn, he had those connections.
I mean, he said in the movie, if you think they're going to let you walk in and talk about this,
No.
you're crazy.
It was that Jewish line that blew up NWA. Plain and simple. It's the reason why, love it or not love it, Ice Cube could do movies. I'm doing my DLC. You know what I'm saying? And I'm only talking about the beginnings of Rufus Records, J.J. Fad, Prince, the dude that was on the Boys and all kind of stuff, man. Just came from Eric. His ideas were so fucking innovative that years later, you can look what Dr. Dre headphones did. That was Eric's idea, bro. Period.
He was the
And
first.
there's other things I could say he did, but you know, I know we in the conversation. I want to keep it diplomatic as possible, bro. Say that.
He also was coming with a Rufus comedy.
Yeah.
They had Def Comedy Jam.
Yeah.
T.K. Kirkland was with them. And
And TK, shout out to TK. That's my nigga.
They were going to start a Def. Easy was already on the Rufus comedy. It was already signed, ready to go, and everything. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
man.
He was ahead of his time. He was a
Yeah, he
visionary.
was. He was ahead of his time.
And what he
Yeah.
didn't know, that's what Jerry Heller was there for. You know what I mean? He showed him the business. He was necessary.
So
He had his-
Easy pulled Obama, where he was
Easy
yeah,
was
weak in certain parts, he went
Easy had
fast
the
like he was
vision.
strong.
Yeah.
He had the vision, and he was smart enough to know, for me to accomplish this vision, I need this Jew right here,
Yep.
and I need this dude right here that's been on them tables, because he already understands where it is and what it is we need to do. I don't know.
Now the thing is, Eric wanted to make it right.
Mhm.
Newsflash. Might be something different from the NWA movie. Eric Eazy-E wanted to make it right with NWA and Bolo, Cocaine, the whole camp. You know what I'm saying? I'll tell you a story. Prior to us putting out the Uncle Sam's Curse about Above the Law, incredible record, Black Superman, all kind of shit. California people like it.
So I definitely went to Tower
We
Records and bought that
it was me.
Classic.
It was me, Above the Law, KMG. It was Hutch, KMG, and the homegirl Jada Pickett at that time. That's our homegirl. You know what I'm saying? Her and Regina King's the homegirl. We used to go to a fancy club called Peanuts together down there, but that's another story. So she was actually gonna do the video. And Eric was just, we was at the House of Blues on Sunset. Eric was just coughing like, he had a little spit rag. Put it in his pocket. We were like, oh, nigga, you mad? But he was like, you couldn't tell he wasn't himself outside of the, coughing and stuff. We were like, you need to go check that out. So after the meeting, we were talking about a treatment for a video called California by Brother Law featuring KOKANE. And Eric kept coughing. And then after we left, it was like he looked at me and he said, you keep going, man. You're going to be big. Like if it's say, farewell, my nigga. And then 2 weeks later, because I love him, he didn't want no pity party. Nah, he went out like a G. He didn't want no pity party. And we go up there and try to sing, and the Muslims was barking, and that was when Tamika and Ron Sweeney, I think, the attorney, was kind of standoffish to everybody. We couldn't see Eric. But I didn't want to see the homie up in tubes and shit like that. We went up to the hospital, and then, the brother had passed. And when he passed, I didn't mind it. It left us in a dark-ass space, bro. It left us so dark because all the assets was frozen up. Everybody was scrounging around, how old is, so they froze everything. And for a whole year, I just was in a dark place, man. I did a song called No Pain, No Gain, one of my best songs. They played that song at his funeral and so many other funerals. And then a year later, I said, we need to pick back up the pace. So me and Yellow linked in. He had a project called One More Nigga to Go, talking about Eazy-E and dedication at Scotty Brothers. And I had a deal through Scotty Brothers because I left Ruthless. It was no need for me to stay there.
Right.
And then I put out This Is For The E with Brother Yellow, DJ Yellow. And that's crazy because here it is, Pac gone. We were sad before because the homie DJ Train was the first one out the Ruthless camp and transcend. He was JJ Fad's DJ about to be mine in 1990, but he died in the fire. So going back to Eric's death, it was crazy. And then the year later, my homeboy get out of jail. We driving down the street, and it's me, Spice One, and Ann Banks. And we all together. I got a little spot at the Majuyan and shit on Sunset. And then I'm riding, and we look, and I said, I see a little peanut head in the back with the convertible rolls. And we pull, I said, it looked like Pac, man. It looked like Pac, man. We look, I was like, nigga, Pac. He was like, cocaine. Pull over, nigga. You know how Pac was. Pull over, nigga. We pulled over. He came to the room and shit. That was when Lil Speedy was there, too.
More time?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Pulled over, he said, cocaine, man, come to my house. We got a lot to catch up on, man. I said, you right, my nigga. So he lived off Sherman Way in the valley. So we go to his house. I remember Gaddafi there. Remember like it's yesterday. He said, man, I want to do a song, and you'll be perfect for it, called Fortune of Fame. So we get off the piano, and I'm playing the piano and shit, No Pain. He said, nigga, that's my favorite song, because Pac was always on a suicide mission, whether people didn't know it or not. He always liked life and death type of songs, and he was attracted by whatever he was influenced on. So we go to Can-Am Studio, me, Chico, Spice One, shout out to Spice One, my nugger, and we go ahead and record that shit. And he was on there. Bang, something we all adore. I'm on the original copy of that, me and Spice One, and Edie Amin and the Outlaws. So that night, he was almost gonna whoop the white boy ass, the engineer, because Pac was serious about his shit, my nigga. Nigga, if you don't get this shit right, nigga, I got cocaine, I got Spice One, nigga, do this shit right. So we did the song. That same following day, we were supposed to link up with Ice-T. I did. Spice One did on the TW, I think I forget the name. It was the project on Ant Bank shit. Me, Ice-T.
Oh, that's big thing.
Yeah, big things. We did that. And then Pac was hitting me up and said, I want y'all niggas to come by downtown Atlanta, shoot Love in the Bullet with Jim Belushi. So we go wiggle up there, me and Spice One and the homie Caffeine who played Tales of the Hood. So we go up there and Pac was just loving us, man. He did an interview, he said, who you got on your shit, man? One, he mentioned Cocaine, Spice One on the One Nation project because we was gonna join forces with him. And then Jim Belushi came in, we smoking weed. Jim Belushi breath was smelling bad in the motherfucker. We was bagging on him and shit. But Pac was like, he was like a star, like the James Dean of our time. Like, and then he said, I'm going to New York. After I come back from New York, I want you niggas to go to the fights with me. I couldn't go to the fights. I was supposed to be out there too. Spice One couldn't go because I had obligations that Scotty Brothers had an office out there. So when that altercation happened, Be Legit, shout out to Be Legit, who's not just my homie, that's my brother. Be Legit hit me and said, he said, hey man, Pac gone, man. And I thought he was playing. I was like, man, what you talking about, my nigga? Pac, man, turn on the news or whatever. So I turned on the news, and I ain't even gonna lie, Crocodile Tears just came out because to me, Pac was like, okay, you got shot in the hand. You be all right, my nigga. Yeah. But it put me in, here go easy, gone. Now my nigga Pac gone. Put me in a darker place. So 9 times out of 10, you know, to relieve my depression and everything, I rolled, smoked me some Sherm, rolled up a fat ass Primo just to get, and always put it into my music because it was a little time that I went through that dark period. But one of the things that really helped me out of that situation is I can attribute that to my wife, that I have that 8 children by. She held me down. I mean, I've been knowing that woman, met her since 1984. Shout out to Alicia. And my daughter, who's actually out here, who will be performing with me. But that held me down during that 90 period, brother. And I know I'm talking a lot, but it's so much shit.
We running this.
You feel me?
This is your show.
So after, you know, the homie Pac was gone, I linked in with some homies from Pomino Block Crib called Street Institute. J.O. Felony was there, Volume 10, all those cats. And I used to be hungry, man. 9 times out of 10, well, 10 times out of 10. Every time I go to the studio, whether, I don't care what color you was, or how big you was, or independent, I was always doing features. Boom, 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 boom. For the last 35 years, I never took a day off. And I was always doing features and shit. So when I hooked up with the Street Institute, Pomino Block Cribs, we did something real big. Shout out to Al Dog. You know, my boy Hat, rest in peace. They put us on. The jail thing was cool. And then in 1999, Half Dead and Trey D used to work with us at Street Institute. Snoop Dogg sent the kite because the studio was right down the street, you know, in Claremont, and which is considered Pomona. And Snoop sent the kite and said, man, I want to get Cocaine over here because he knew the sound that influenced him. Was the G-Funk sound created by us above all Cocaine. So when we went over there, we squashed the funk. And then at the same time, it gave me a chance to hook up with Nate Dogg. Now the strange story about Nate Dogg, reason why we became kind of close, we were close back then, but you know the Rufus and Death Row was some of the coldest times from beef. So I didn't see him in a long time. So when he seen him, I was driving a little Celica in 1999, and Half Dead was in the car with me, and he lived in Claremont too, and I didn't have no problems because, you know, I considered everything all squashed, people were gone, but we didn't have a chance to talk about that. So when I pull up to his house, the first thing Nate Dogg, because he was a real nigga, Nate Dogg said, what this nigga doing at my house? He was like, so we got a chance to squash the funk there. And he said, I need you to do me a favor, man, ASAP. If you could take this up to the street And Upland, California is like Jacker's Paradise for police. That nigga gave me a bag full of guns and said, I was stupid, man. You wouldn't trade, could you please take this up to the homies? And I took that up for him. And then it's been on ever since. You know, went out there, did the first song with the group that Snoop was introducing called the East Siders. And the first song in that 1999 was Don't, oh, oh, so I can't get around it. And then we did I Was Born, coming up from the ghetto, where the OGs never let go. And it was on ever since, man. You couldn't tell us in that early 2000 period that we didn't have it on lock. Gave me a chance in 1999 to hook back up with Dre. And I did Chronic 2001 in LA, niggas. And it was just cracking from there on out. You know what I mean? So I know I'm telling a lot, you know what I'm saying? But I hope y'all can understand this shit is deeper than what y'all think.
Filling in the gaps.
Filling in the gaps, player.
Wow. Wow. Shit. I'm being blown away by all this. This is crazy. This is. I'm honored to get this information and be able to push it out on my platform.
Right on.
I'm just in awe of all of this because everything that has happened in this. I'm not even gonna say West Coast. Everything that's happened in this hip hop world that we live in, Kokane has been there. Like you the messiah of all this, bro.
Right. That's what, you know, never taken away from the Lord, but that's what I call myself. The Messiah of the West Coast.
Because you've been a part of every major West Coast movement ever.
Since day one.
Damn, since day one.
Since 89, and then, you know, doing songs with E40, you know, I'm the one to sing Penitentiary Dances. Too Short, Nigga That's Pimp Shit, Mag Dre, Spice One Drama. You know, it's a reason why the universe do what it do, when it do what it do. You know what I mean? And I was able to touch the soil up here and touch some of the realest cats up here. You know, also did stuff. Shout out to my boy Richie Rich. You know what I mean? Just a lot of incredible. Shout out to my boy Blanco. There was a lot of incredible stuff going on. And those doors being shut, that's why I tell you, any upcoming orders, don't look at them as a curse. Look at them as a blessing. Because if you're really ready for any game, you got to endure the adversity first. And that lets you know is you in it to win it for the right reason. And I just love music. You know what I mean? A lot of times I wasn't getting paid. See, everybody talk about, oh, I need to pay a light bill. But because I was able to do what I'm doing, instead of paying light bills, I can now buy the light company. Because it's about positioning yourself, not about the little peanuts. You know what I mean? So I was fortunate, man, to be able to bless so many people all over the world, homie, that I'm humble and I carry myself with all humility. Straight up.
Yeah, because just what you said here, motherfuckers need to get on one knee in front of you, bruh.
Nah.
Like, they need to pay homage because real shit, you done paved the way for a lot of this.
Say that.
Right. I appreciate that.
Like, a lot of this,
True.
you paved the way.
That's true.
Appreciate that.
Shit.
Facts.
I'm still stuck. Like,
Icon.
you've been around the legends. You've been behind closed doors when the legends were talking. You've heard the whispers because you were in the group whispering, and this shit is crazy.
Iconic.
That's the good thing about Mystique. The shock value is more organically, you know, when you're able to tell people what they simply didn't motherfucking know.
And what's crazy is I've been in those rooms. I was in those conversations, but I was now getting the knowledge that I have now, I was so far away from the real conversation. Like I was in a whole different area code when bosses was talking.
Right.
Shit. Okay.
But you know, timing is everything.
Man.
It's the reason why we here, man. Spilling this and inspiring some of these youngsters out there.
Man.
Because they need that inspiration for elevation, real talk.
God moves how he wants to move, and when he moves, he moves.
That's right.
Show you right.
Say that.
Because there's no way I could have put this together without him. Because
Absolutely.
I was introduced to Fat Rat a while ago. When he came here with Big Old Meezy, shout out to Brad.
Yes, sir. Shout out to Big Old
And
Meezy,
I ain't gonna
man.
even lie. Big Old Meezy, I've known Meezy since, oh my God, we go back so fucking far, it's ridiculous. But when he came in this motherfucking studio and said, Shadow, meet the homie Fat Rat. What? Meet the homie who? Are you being, I was in my mind like, you being funny or is this nigga's real name? Like, no, that's the real name. Because Meezy know me because I gave him a look like, yeah, that's the name.
Right.
I was like, okay. Never did I know that I would be sitting up with cocaine based off the fact that Big Ol' Meezy brought the homie Fat Rat in, and we kicked it off so cool that night. We was talking about doing a show up here.
Mm-hmm. Podcast. Yeah.
And a couple weeks after that, like Houdini popped up. Fat Rat was gone. Poof.
Right.
Gone. I'm like, okay, well, I guess they don't want to do the show. You know, Meezy doing his thing. I'm like, okay, cool. I'm trolling one day. I was like, hey, that's the nigga that was in my studio. Oh, he with this artist. And next picture, he's in this city with that artist. And he's in this other city with another artist. And,
Yeah.
and he got the same facial expression. He always stand on the right side of the picture. He always I'm like, this nigga is
Stone Cold
really
Killer.
moving. Like, and then he started popping up with pictures with you all around the world and And I'm like, this nigga is really moving. And I was like, okay.
I call him Mr. Everywhere.
That is a perfect motherfucking name for him. Mr. Everywhere. I'm trying to get up to that name. That's my goal. I'm trying to be Mr. Everywhere Jr. God damn it. Cocaine. You come from the era of what some of us would like to say real motherfucking music.
Yeah. Yeah.
To sit up and see how, because everything evolves, to see how the rap game has evolved to what it is now. What is your two-part question? What is your take on what today's hip hop is? And like myself, have you noticed that my mom used to always tell me, because I used to ask for shit when I was young, and we didn't have the money for it, but mom would always say, I ain't got it right now, but baby, all trends go full circle.
Right.
I'm starting to see a lot of the OGs, or a lot of the cats that the OGs influencing, going back to that traditional style, real hip hop, we're gonna talk our truth kind of thing. I had Fetty DeMarco up here,
Dope.
Ice-T's protege.
He's
Yeah,
so
he dope. Watch.
Imperial Courts. Shout out to Fetty, man.
Yeah,
Dope artist, incredible person to talk to and meet, and humble, the whole shit. But I think, had it not been for his influence from the OGs, if he'd have fell into this new era type shit, we wouldn't be talking about him now.
Right.
So in this two-part question,
Bingo.
what is Cocaine's opinion on? Hold on, let me take that off. Let me take that off. How close to what we consider real hip hop music, this real shit, this real music that we grew up on? How close is this new era to swinging back into that lane again?
Well, these are different times. So what I've learned to do is not disrespect another man's gender, because that's the sign of their times. That's the landscape that they live in, the suppression that they live in. So show me where we are with the music, I'm gonna show you where you is with the ghetto. These are different times. So what I've learned is not to compare so much our generation and say their generation is bigger than ours or ours is bigger than theirs. It's just to reintroduce and keep it positive and raise their vibration and say, okay, you doing this, but check this out. Because 9 times out of 10, they want to embrace it, but we have to have some type of reverse psychology in a great way to say, you know, even though you do this, I love you, brother. Check this out right here. Because at the end of the day, LOVE is the most powerful force you can use. And whatever they're going through is because legislation is like that, things, more jails is like that, society is switched up, and the big kicker is the internet, because it took weirdos on steroids now. It ushered in disrespect. Now, the only thing I would say to Generation X, if Grandma told you, you know, I had 12 gangbangers out there, Grandma said, take that shit down the street. Guess what we did? We took it down the street. Yes, Miss Yamina. But what the internet did in those frequencies, because everything is frequencies and vibration and energy, it's real. I mean, it perpetuated something that influenced them in a way the way they might be are now. Kill, kill, kill. I'll kill a nigga on 16 verse, a 1 bar verse. It's the balance is unsettled. See, when our era was growing up, we could hear the type of gangster song we want, and then we could hear a positive X-Clan. X-Clan was the shit. That was gangster to me. But they was talking about Africa. They was talking about these brothers over here who was really from the tribe of Judah. They was talking about all that, and it was popular.
X-Clan.
Nowadays, because of the internet and drama, it perpetuates more of a gossip like Malone on Good Times, as opposed to the authenticity of good music with substance and making you think. So whenever the music is unbalanced, the ghetto is unbalanced. All we want to do is just play a cornerstone piece of this puzzle, which a cornerstone piece is powerful, to be able to articulate things that we have to get back to, as opposed to judging. We tell them, this is why it was better for us. So when I get a hold of youngsters, I don't be like, oh, your shit whack, boo boo. Even if I might think it's whack, I say, this hit different over here. Try this right here.
So then it goes back to the thing of these young cats, these young bulls in the game doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Ain't no OGs out there giving them the game.
No, because the love is taken out like it's taken out of school. That's why. We gotta put love. We gotta, you know, when we're doing our thing, we love to get in the studio. It was like this shit to see, oh, that's KMG walking through the door. Black Superman hunts. It was like, it was a privilege. But because anytime that you do too much of anything, it can overthrow your whole shit. Now we want to get back to the music because a lot of people are waking up to fake news. To fake news, like Donald Trump said, fake news. This shit real. Now we, you know, anytime that me and my brother especially, you know, go out, talk to young cats, we might call cats that don't even have nothing to do with the music industry, just to tell them, yo, brother, slow that down a little bit, brother. I love what you doing, my nigga, but at the same time, this is the reason why I'm giving you advice. And like a sperm cell trying to get to the egg, all of them don't, but those that do birth new ideas. And that's all we're trying to reach. 1 or 2 people. That's it.
That's ocean deep, right?
So, you know, what comes with the elders right here is just more than a package. You know what I'm saying? Then okay, it's all about getting money. Well, it's not about getting money. It's not. You can chase your dreams, but it's all about positioning yourself so you can make a business out of what you do. Period.
Now, let's take two different time zones here.
Mm-hmm.
We have the cocaine of now.
Mm-hmm.
We have the cocaine who was beginning.
Mm-hmm.
How does the cocaine of now to the cocaine that was beginning? It's not about the money. Because personally, I started this. It was about getting a bag.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nothing else, nothing more. I didn't care how I get paid at doing this. Now, where I kick in is, how do I get paid for doing what I love? I love the hustle.
Mm-hmm.
The marketing promotion game, love it. I'm probably one of the only cats who's in this industry that will tell you in a heartbeat, I don't know how to rap and I don't want to be a rapper. I want to be the guy who gets the box of flyers, posters, the merch.
Right.
I go to a city before the show comes in and I blanket the city with posters and shit.
Right.
That's me. I love it. I mean, we used to dress up for sniping like we was ninjas
That
going
was
to
the shit.
war.
Yeah, sniping was the shit.
You could. We had staple guns on our hip like they was nines, bro.
Right.
You couldn't tell it. We would rent vans. It was all out warfare.
But that's important, you know. When I talk about, I want to put it in the right context. When I talk about not getting money, because if you don't love music first or love what you do, and you just in it for the money, that's on a promissory note and say, God, we trust, that will dissipate faster than you think. You understand me?
Yes.
It's just like this. I'm on this program out of love. Usually when I go on other podcasts, you got to give me $4 or $5 grand. It's not about money. It's about the love. I want to meet this brother. I had a chance to chop it up with him. You know what I'm saying? And it can go longer way in fellowship, because even in the Bible it says a name is and respect is more precious than what? Silver and gold. So it said right there.
Okay. We have moved through this life how we have moved, because life is always life. We are now at an age where we're considered OGs.
Mm-hmm.
Do you sit up sometimes and think about some of the game that you were given as a young bull and reflect back like, damn, he really knew what he was talking about.
Mm-hmm.
If I'd have did this back then, maybe I wouldn't be in the situation I'm in now.
Right.
Because sometimes when I reflect back to that shit, I'm like, wow, mom was right, or dad really gave me a gem on that one, or the homie's uncle who was sitting around with us and telling us how to talk and move around and how to, you know, be respectful and move how we move. He was really on something. But we was young and dumb. We were like, nah, that nigga crazy. We know what we doing.
Right.
It's weird for me to sit up sometimes to do that. You being in the position that you are in, the conflict has got to be real in you sometimes.
Oh yeah, if you don't have no type of conflict, you don't have no empathy. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever.
Your conflict is from proving legends, real top dogs, real bosses. Like, you need to write a book.
I got a book and a documentary coming soon. But I was gonna put it out. But I got all this stuff is just coming right now.
I will be first in line,
you know.
and all of that. My God, that's gonna be an incredible.
You know what? The wisest person once told me, his old man, and I put that up. And he said, son, he said, no one makes you wise, even wiser. I said, what? It's that you simply don't know shit at all.
Right.
So the capacity to grow is big. I'm
It's a necessity.
still learning, because it's an AI, artificial matrix system simulation. You have to learn. So sometimes, young brothers, put the blunt down for a second, read a tutorial for a second, humor yourself, and watch what it do for you in a month. But it's the key to stay focused if you want to manifest those things, because you have to stay in the rhythm. It's just like when shamans beat on the drum, they could open up portals with different other, things come through. Everything in life is about a rhythm or on a road. And the more you stay consistent, it will change on a quantum level, because we're living in an illusion. What you think is real ain't really real. It'll change on a constant. The key to anything is to be able to go through the process and be able to thank the dark times in the process, because it's not the victory when you get the victory. The victory is when you're being shaped in the process. When you learn to fall in love with patience. When you understand the reason why you're broken sometimes is for God to mend you. Because when God mend you, no one can take you apart again. I'm just mended, that's all. I'm just mended, that's all. So, like me and my brother Fabric, we always say, we got an assignment. It's like, it's not so much on religious, but when you look at it, God's looking for gangsters. For real, because if you can put your life on the line for some dumb shit that we were put into, you can put your life on some righteous stuff saving these young brothers. So whether it's music, whether it's flipping a burger, whether it's podcasts, especially as somebody with coaching, you got more than enough obligation to follow your assignment. It's just that, are you willing to do it, or are you still living in fear? God broke that fear from me, that's all, and I'm mended. That's why I'm still here preserved. So anything I do, I credit it to the Most High with all humility. I went to the corner stage. Yeah, everybody goes through that, when you're in a certain particular industry. But I don't move without the Most High. I come to Him with everything, and I work on myself to make sure my actions is matching my mouthpiece.
Now, that brings up a question. A cat who was in the game, talking about all the slick shit, gets locked up on some bullshit. Spends his time, serves it, shoulders against the wall, doing what we gotta do. But in that time of sitting up, which I like to call going to college, he went to college and they get out. Now, when they get out, they on this whole different mentality of they find their spirituality locked up. A lot of cats want to say the Muslim thing, that's what happens in there, or they find God because nothing else to do with it but read the Bible or whatnot. Right. When they get out, usually, especially an artist, they go one or two ways. One, they go right back to the shit they was talking before they went in. Or two, they go back to doing, I can't really talk about that anymore because while I was in there and I was finding out who I was and my peace and, the difference of being right and wrong and getting right with, the book and the spirit and everything. Are they wrong for going back to the way they were rapping? Or, because it's hard now for these artists to get put on because they're not talking about that same shit.
Yeah, but a lot of stuff is, we've been taught to be institutionalized. Private corporations, jails, booths, they send out all this stuff. But in life, the road is narrow. So that's why I go back and revert to what I said. Do all sperm cells get to the egg?
Okay, but
no.
Now as spiritual as you are now, you can't say you were this spiritual when you were younger and getting into the game.
Nobody was to me.
But now, how does your spirituality now, how does that affect your music?
Oh, yeah, man, this is an entertainment business. When it comes to business, I'm a businessman. It's not about saving the lung foundation to me. Just because you stop smoking cigarettes don't mean I ain't. But at the same time, it's amazing how God used a situation. Because nowadays, because the way I talk to the people, the kids that are raised, they listen to cocaine. Now that I got your attention and I see you face to face, the most explosive thing is that you might think cocaine do this and that, but you'll hear something else that articulate. And that's what we are. You know, we can't go to our T.D. Jakes all the time because it's about money. But we are your modern day preachers because of the testimony experiences that we can share with people. And we don't judge them. It ain't like, you know, I talk how I talk. I'll make some pimp shit, I'll make some gangster shit, and then I'll make something that'll make G's cry. Because I'm a part of that balance and they coexist together, yin and yang. And if you can get the attention of the indigenous people, which are us, then you can spring some things on them that's going to make an impact. See, we need to make an impact on our culture, not just have an effect, because an effect is, I went to Sunday, I heard a good sermon, or Saturday at the Quran, and then you go back to doing the same thing. We want to inspire those to really use your actions, even though you keep bumping your head. Because you got to bump your head until you're tired of bumping your head.
Right. Okay.
And that's what we do through music. We talk with kids, we talk with all. We use this music and who I am simply as a catalyst and a footstool with a real thing. Talk about family. Talk about this because you got their attention. You might get it through a song, you might get it through a podcast, but once you got their attention, like in Ecclesiastes it says, it's a season for everything. Then it's time. You feel the Spirit's gonna tell them. And that's where I'm at. I'm just following my assignment, that's all.
Okay.
I can't even tie my shoes on straight without thinking about what I'm thinking about. So it's at the end of the day, the most powerful thing you could ever put out there is LOVE, period. Love. Love is incredible. Like, it could be somebody, there was a couple brothers, we walked in, it was kind of mini-muggy. We were saying, how you doing, brother? And it changed the whole direction, trajectory.
I'm glad you brought that up, because that's one of my pet peeves. And I want to say, one of the little partners was like, man, why you always trying to pull somebody's car?
Right.
And I'm like, no, I'm not pulling somebody's car, because if I walk up to somebody, and if it is a brother, we were taught we gotta look hard all the time.
Yeah, mini-muggy.
We gotta be mean mugging all the time.
That's bullshit.
And realistically, to know probably the background of the motherfuckers in this room, you don't want to mean mug some of these motherfuckers in this room.
Not at all.
But I take it upon myself to walk, as I'm walking to that person, I see him, what's up, man, how you doing?
Right.
I make you talk to me.
Right.
And it's like you can see it in their face, like, oh shit, okay,
Right.
we're not in this situation.
Right.
Like, and it baffles me, like, why don't more people do that?
Yeah. I seen somebody get thrown over the top tier of the county jail over a Snicker bar. Dead over a Snicker bar.
I seen him thrown off the top tier in Folsom.
Yeah.
Fifth tier.
Yeah. So I don't judge nobody. You don't know who nobody beefing with or whatever, but it's the most, simple shit that'll get you killed. And what we're doing is not doing too much. We're just staying in our organic line to be able to influence these younger generations, because our generations, we don't reach for them, neither you are. We reach for the ones that are 10, 15, 20, so that way when they hear a KOKANE record on the Dr. Kokenstein, like Hey You, or certain other songs, it's not just turning up, it's also perpetuating that balance and positivity to where they can hear it and be inspired, hopefully.
Well, I can go on for days with this.
Yeah.
This is going to be a never-ending kind of situation here, but let's go ahead and move forward.
Yes, sir.
Because off these cameras and off this radio, like, I gotta keep talking to you. But we on a short leash. No, we ain't. Ownership has its privileges.
We do gotta go over to rehearsal.
Yeah.
But let's go ahead and get into this future shit.
Yeah.
Your sound is like no other.
Mm-hmm.
Like no other. Now, is that because of the old soul that was put into you from back in the day, or is that just something that you came up with?
Hey man, I I'm just glad my daddy didn't squirt the nut on the pillow, bro. Straight facts, man. Like, Dad, thank you, my nigga. And I just love soul music because soul music, hip hop, they say, you know, folks saved my life, homie. You know, and I have an obligation to put out those frequencies and vibrations that's gonna affect the streets and the ghetto. I never made music for the corporate shit. I made it for the streets. And that's what I continue to do today.
Okay.
I don't talk about being in the streets. I'm really wiggle in the streets, me and my homie.
Oh, I see it.
You know what I'm saying? So that's cool for me. We don't need
They don't have no
100,000.
address.
We don't need 100,000 bodyguards or nothing.
My address
We
say
just got,
Earth.
yeah, our address is Earth. We got the Spirit of God on us, and we got some history where people know, you know, not to say it on here, they know what it is.
Okay. Well, with that being said, you got a super project coming out.
Yeah.
let's get to the exciting shit. It's a super project that I got. Let's go ahead and talk about that. You coming out with a 3-part project?
Yes.
That's a lot of work, bruh.
It's a lot of work, but, you know, I have a vault, so to speak. And,
That motherfucker gotta be
a lot of
full
songs,
speed.
but, and this ain't got nothing to do with the pictures. This talking about work. So I put out this project because I want people to have an experience as opposed to listen to, you know, just a song.
Well, let's go ahead and give the people the name of this
Yeah.
super project that I got in my email and I can't wait.
It's called The Funkin' Adventures of Dr. Kokenstein. 3-album trilogy.
Yes, put the effects on it. Now, artists are starting to find out this digital platform shit ain't what it's supposed to be.
Not at all. They all fooled you. They wanted you to go right here, and they was thinking right here. They purposely, Prince was trying to tell you before they clipped you. He was trying to tell you, man, it's about to be fuckery 101. So what the corporates did, got together, and I don't knock all the corporates because all of them ain't bad. There's some good folks in there. But they put out this propaganda. We didn't make no money. We didn't do this. And all the while they was behind doors brokering themselves on these iTunes and these Apples and all that shit. So you think the industry was doing bad, losing all this money. No. These are the times in the last 15 years where the music industry, corporate people made the most money.
Heavy bag.
So now it's like Pinocchio's story. Remember the Pinocchio story? He said, man, come to the circus. You can eat cotton candy, which represents streaming plaques. You can do this and all that. But at the end of the day, it was a hidden agenda, and everybody at the circus turned into what? Jackasses. Jackasses. There were people laughing at me when 16 years ago I was selling shit on my website just because they had a Fifi bag with a streaming plaque getting 0.005 on fucking shit. Now everybody's scrounging around thinking the corporates lost. They didn't. But now people are waking up to their independence and starting to control their economy. About fucking time.
Now, seeing how you was ahead of the curve on this great project, 3 motherfucking albums.
Yeah.
Where are we going to be able to get this from?
You can only get this, let me spell it slow. My company is called Bud E-Boy Entertainment. My middle name is Buddy, but we couldn't use the DDY, somebody grabbed it. So I left the E in there in memory for my nigga Easy E. It's spelled www.budE as in Eric, B-O-Y, music.com. That way you can come to me with no middleman, direct marketing. Our stuff is in concordance with the IRS. We are already incorporated. Everything you want to see is on my site. It's no cookie cutter. You get your stuff. And our company for the last 17 years has been grade A movement. We don't have, and I sell 75% of my stuff to the world now. I don't get caught up in the politics and who doing what, because the world is your oyster at the end of your pond, player. So what we did is build up a meta database over 1 million people for the last 17 years, and I'm only asking for 30% of that. So if I sell a trilogy player at $100 a pop, and I only do 10,000, I mean, most people might laugh, but do the work on that player.
That's not nothing to laugh at.
No, it's not. If I sell 1,000, that's 100,000.
And it's all you.
It's all me and the family. Because we put a lot, over the years, I put a lot of money into this thing, but didn't get it back. So I knew it went about the money because I know one thing, and y'all gotta know this, your creativity will write its own blank check.
Bingo.
Your actions, what you do will write its own blank check. I got tired of having a mentality of paying light bills unless I was gonna continue. I said I'm gonna position myself, and I just pay light bills, but to buy the light company. And I'm gonna fall in love with patience, and I'm gonna be creative like a fucking monster, and it's gonna put me in the position I am. That's why we're here. It wasn't overnight, my nigga. Oh, ain't nothing overnight, my nigga.
That is sending chills because literally that's the motivational speech that I needed to hear.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
So it's coming out March 10th.
Yeah, March 10th. This great
www.buddyboymusic.com.
Who's some greats other than you that we might hear on this great one?
Man, you got first and foremost my daughter. Ain't nothing like rocking like
What?
your daughter. Lisa C-Long, she's on the cut called Fuck What You Going Through. I got my twin, Ice Cube. Shout out to Ice Cube. He's on it with a song called Come Up Like Me, talking about the little homies. See, don't make songs like this. Everything about kill. No, we wanted to do a song that's going to uplift you. We got Corrupt on there. We got Steve from True. Shout out to Steve. We got Big to the Boy from Compton, who's been all around the world. It's just a complete package, man. I don't want to ruin it. I want you to go to my site at www.buddyboymusic.com and see the surprise, man. It's a 3-album trilogy, almost 4 songs, and we're actually mirroring Parliament Funkadelic. We're doing it in the KOKANE way.
Okay, so when they go to the website and they buy the download, is there a spot where they can buy the actual wax?
Well, let me break it down for you. Everything you want is a one-stop shop at www.buddyboymusic.com. You see, I got my pitch there.
Got you, bro. Do what you gotta do.
USB, vinyl,
I got vinyl,
tape,
accessories, merch, cassette tapes, USBs, and we got our own Buddy Boy digital platform besides moving the CDs too. So everything, all in one. You can come, and I'm my own distributor. Yeah, I don't need no Universal, no Interscope, no disrespect to them. If I do anything with a big company, it's only going to be from a licensing point of view. But you can't have my goodies. You can't take my low cost no more.
Now, all this knowledge you got, is it because you've been through it through the years, or did you sit up and actually do what some people just don't know how to do? Read a damn book.
Nah, you gotta contribute that to some of your team, which is, we run my company together with my wife and my children. They actually run the company. And I'm outsourcing a lot of things with my brother. We put a lot of business things together. So it's all a whole family type of environment with us, my boy Fats, and some other unsung heroes. That's safe to say I built up a small army worldwide. You feel me?
Okay. Well, let's safe to say this, because you in Sacramento. And it's a blessing that you're here because I'm understanding you have a show tomorrow, right?
Right.
Tell us about that.
Man, it's going down. This is the first show that we're kicking off on the Dr. KOKANE campaign. And I'm bringing down my daughter, so she performs in the middle of the set. Shout out to the Lab Rats. We also going to be having them playing behind us. And it's a good soul and funk, hip-hop soul. It's going to make you feel good like you should. We're about to get suited and booted, never tooted. We're going to do our damn thing, man, where you can have an experience at the show at the Guild Theater, March 7th.
Shout out Drew Burks, because
Drew is
that
the
dude's
man.
a genius.
Shout out Drew Burks.
Now, I have a song that's playing here in the background that is off this new great project. Is this one of the songs that you will possibly be hearing tomorrow?
Yeah, this is a live band. This is Prince, actually, interpolation, produced by a funky-ass white boy named Cuddy Dre. It's all, he redid that over. People think it's a sample, it's not. It's all live. You know what I
This is
mean? So
crazy.
we'll be doing this tomorrow. And this song is actually out on all the digital streaming platforms. It's called Beg Your Pardon. But in order to get the whole full kit 3-song trilogy, just come to my site. And I'm gonna bless you.
Okay.
BuddyBoy.com.
Yes, sir.
BuddyBoy.com. The princess of the Cocaine Empire is doing music. She's singing or is she rapping?
She's singing and rapping. And I had to calm her down because she wanted to be an MMA boxer because she got schmitties.
So,
yeah.
well, that's a little worry off of your
But
plate.
she's so, her and her mother is out here. My queen is out here. God bless me with a beautiful family, man. And like I said, I'm so glad to see her, you know, grow through these years because I was always placing her ever since she was 12 years old on projects, but I refused to put out a little spread on her because I know the brutal.
Protecting her.
Yeah, protecting her. And she understood. I mean, she used to cry and be like, but I'm like, Kung Fu. Snatched the pebble out of my hand. She snatched that motherfucker out of my hand. And the good thing about it, years later, she's like, I understand, Pops. I respect you. Thank you, OG. She called me OG. I'm like, I'm here, Pop. But it's not but respect. My kids respect me and I love them. You know, because they went through it too. They seen Pops. Don't think kids ain't the sacrificial lambs of everything that you go through. They smart. Don't play kids dumb.
Yeah.
But I'm glad to see, you know, God has been good and her career is blossoming. She got a new single out right now. Her name is AANISAHLONG. It's called Karma Can Be.
Man, I need that, bro. I need that one.
On the case.
So, great show. Now, is this a tour that you're doing, or is this just a special show?
This is a special show. We actually got a residency out there. Thank you for my boy, Fat Brad, linking me in with some good brothers at the Guild. Drewski, just the whole team over there is just solid, not solid. And I'll be doing 4 shows a year, every quarter out here. So I'll make it SAC my home, my second home too.
That's dope. God, that's
Every
crazy.
quarter. The next show he's gonna be bringing out Cool Rock Ski from the
Yeah.
Fat Boys.
Because he's actually on my album.
And we'll make sure you bring
And we did that video.
we'll
in
make
New
sure
York.
we bring him over here to you too when he
Yeah.
gets here.
He's the last remaining member.
Yeah, boy.
He's the last remaining member. Rest in peace, Prince Marky D and Buffy.
Yes, sir.
And it's incredible. They're getting inducted into the Hip Hop Hall of Fame, which is good because I grew up on Fat Boys. Right? That's on my bucket list.
Yeah.
And we were know we were on the West Side. We was banging Houdini, Fat Boys, Run DMC. It was big. Remember they did the first Fresh Fest, man. Watching Disorderlies and watching Crush Groove. It's like, man, I had a chance.
Got me a black box. I've been
Man.
watching Crush Groove
Yeah,
for the
man.
past 2 weeks.
So he on a project called
They got a
Hush.
song called Hush. It's
In the
actually
video, we
videos
shot out in
everything.
Brooklyn where they was at. We went to the soil.
Mm.
Yeah, you wanna pull it up.
Got Trench in it. It's dope. You can pull it up, man.
Yeah, it's called Hush.
It's called Hush.
Cool Rock Ski and
I'll
KOKANE.
pull it up a little bit later because I'm gonna hold fat to the word.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Waiting for that.
Now, we got to hurry up and get to this.
One
we already
thing
supposed to be
about
into
me,
the
I'm a
rehearsal.
man of my word, my brother.
Now, I know we gotta go. When you've been doing music for decades, when you're finally done with the music, we already know who's gonna push your legacy. It's gonna be the family, it's gonna be the kids, the young princes and princesses you have with your bloodline. When the music is done for you, and it's a doorway at the end of that, when you open that door, what does it open up to for KOKANE?
Movies. That's the name.
And what context are you saying it? Like, you know, so I really, really understand the conversation, with the question.
The entertainment part of you, we already know. We got Fat over there talking about movies.
That's the next movie. We're
That's
asking for the
that's
right
next
one
movie.
right now.
We're doing movies. Outside of the entertainment,
Gotcha.
it is something that, you know, I asked the artist a couple months ago, and he was like, he wanted to kind of like carry on what Nip had tried to do. Where he bought the building, was going to build the studio, and have people be able to come in and learn how to work the studio, because that was one of his things. He said if somebody he was working with didn't know how to do it, get the fuck up. I know how to do it.
Well, I would love to build colleges, work programs,
Okay, that's what I'm talking
class shops, different other things, tap into a political point of view to influence legislation. Having my kids, I got 4 kids in universities right there, some taking STEM scientists,
about. Listen,
a lot of other things in politics. So I know from a political point of view, hip hop and music in general has a big step to influence a lot of people. And more so on the humanitarian side, nigga make the money, but money don't make the nigga, and you can't take it with you. So my heart is to help a lot of people, because that's something me and my wife adamantly do anyway. We just don't put it on camera.
I don't like that when people
Yeah, so
bringing
it's
money and
mostly,
sandwiches and cats, but you be in a camera across the street filming.
yeah, it's
What the fuck is
mostly
that?
Bullshit.
mostly doing whatever assignment God want me to do. He might want me to do something else, but whatever, the frequency of love, because God's not a man or woman where he should lie. I'm just following.
But with that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and let y'all slide about it, because I know y'all behind on the schedule. I do you have no idea how much I appreciate you coming through and blessing me with the everything. Fuck, it's crazy. Again, please give them the website so they can go and get this fantastic piece of work that you put out.
It's at, you can hurry up and get the pre-orders, because they end March 9th and the project come out on my birthday, March 10th. It's at
Don't call me asking for me to forward an email. It's not happening.
It's at www.bud, Bud, E as in Eric, BOY, music.com. That's budeboymusic.com. And everything is there, from the digital to the hard copies, to the merch, to the accessory. We pride ourselves on taking care of customers, because we appreciate you spending your hard-earned money, your 86,400 seconds in a day on us. So we love y'all.
And one more thing.
Go ahead.
30 years, Funk Upon a Rhyme.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I also got the 30th year anniversary of Funk Upon a Rhyme out with some added features on there. That's also on the site. It's the whole complete KOKANE collection with other artists that are on the label, my label as well.
Greatness. That's all that can be said. This is greatness. Brother, thank you for taking time. Guild Theater, make sure y'all go check them out. Tomorrow, what time?
Doors open at 7. Show starts at 7:45 sharp. Be there. Don't meet us there. Beat us there.
Facts.
In a real way.
Sacramento, get out you.
You bitch you.
It's an artist that's not from here, Sacramento, so you can get there early.
Yeah. And it's gonna be very comfortable, very mature. We're gonna be whipping out those old classics from the Eazy-E, Tupac, Snoop.
Crazy.
Oh man, Dr. Dre, Spice One, Mac, man, we gonna have a party.
It's gonna be an experience. It's not a show.
Yeah,
It's an experience.
yeah.
Spoken words. You're gonna be spoken word. They're gonna be doing spoken word.
Shout out to
poetry.
Jay Witherspoon and C West and Jay Nash too.
It's gonna be a grown folks show. It's gonna be a KOKANE experience. You definitely don't want to miss it. Because Sacramento, we don't get this all the time.
We really, really don't.
So please come out and enjoy yourself
Yeah.
and have a good time.
Pay at the door if you don't pay online, but
Eventbrite,
it's gonna be nice.
or you can pay at the door, $20 at the door.
Which ain't bad.
That ain't, y'all spend that every day, so that's nothing.
On coffee.
Come on in and celebrate life with your peoples and have a good time, man.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
And enjoy some good music
I
from an icon.
am just in awe. I'm blown away.
And we'll be back.
I appreciate you. This is West Coast Wednesdays, the best one I've had ever since I started this shit.
Y'all tap in, man.
Hype Dash Radio.
Shout out
Yeah.
Hype
Make sure y'all
Radio.
come through this.
Hype Radio.
We
Shout
do
out
this
Hype
for
Radio.
y'all.
Shout out Shadow, man.
Y'all be safe.
Yes, sir.
If y'all ain't tapped in, you losing.